Hello everyone, we are here at Lollypop Farm with two of hundreds of kittens that we will see this season. It is officially kitten season. What does kitten season mean, Sue?
It means that there's a lot of kittens out there, all different ages, that people are bringing in because they're finding them. Cats are not like dogs. Dogs go into heat twice a year. Cats can get pregnant all year round, and we see it, but it seems to be worse between April and September. We just get flooded with kittens.
Yes, and although that sounds cute, we need our community support more than ever during kitten season between wish list items and fostering, adopting. So we just wanted to talk today about a couple of things, like when you should even bring a kitten to Lollypop Farm. So we kind of have a scale of leave them alone to emergency, bring them here. So what would an example of kind of leave them be if you come across kittens in the wild?
If they look healthy, they're fat, they're romping around, they're clean, usually the mom is taking care of them then. Even if you don't see her, she's somewhere in the vicinity. She usually tells them to be quiet and stay hidden, but sometimes they don't listen. Or she may be out looking for food for them, so you may not see her right away. But if the kittens look healthy, dry, safe, clean, you can leave them alone.
Yeah, and we do recommend, if you're worried, which of course you might be, we recommend you could always go back. You can monitor. If you are nervous and you're not really sure if mom will come back in an hour, a few hours, and see if you do see mom, and kind of monitor to make sure that they keep looking healthy.
Yeah, and because if all of a sudden they're running around just screaming like they're starving, something may have happened to mom and she didn't make it back to them.
Yeah, so that would be an example of, we do recommend leaving them with mom because there is no nutrition like mom. So if you do take them away from mom too early, it may feel like helping, but unfortunately that may not always be the best thing to do at that time. Sue, why is it so important to make sure that they stay with their mom when they are so young?
They just do so much better with mom for whatever reason. Even if they're 4 or 5 weeks old, a lot of times if they're taken from mom, they have what we call fading kitten syndrome. This group here, I got in at about 2-3 weeks old, healthy, fat, wonderful, great kittens. And within 48 hours, their sibling just faded and didn't make it. I was doing the exact same thing for them as I did for the sibling, but she just didn't make it without the mom's care.
So there are times where it is an emergency and you really should bring them right to Lollypop Farm. Call us and bring them here. What would kittens look like that are in dire need of like a human to help them?
Skinny, cold, dirty. The weather, they could look fine, but if you know that they're going to get hit with snow or rain or sleet or anything, they shouldn't be left alone. Just generally don't look good. You usually can tell the difference between one that needs some intervention and the ones that are doing okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And our admissions department is here for you in those cases. We just recommend giving them a call since it is an emergency. They can guide you on the best steps of how to get the kittens, when to bring them to Lollypop Farm, and so forth. So once they're here at Lollypop Farm, what happens? We need foster care volunteers to help us take care of the kittens. We have amazing staff, but with kitten season, it just is impossible without our amazing foster care volunteers.
Yeah.
So we are always looking for bottle baby, we call them, volunteers. But
Yep.
What does that mean?
Bottle baby means the kittens aren't ready to eat on their own yet. We get them in anywhere from 3 hours old to 8 weeks old, but they need some help from us. They take their bottles every 2 hours around the clock when they're from 0 to 3 weeks old. Usually right around 3 weeks, you can kind of stretch out the night feeding and start to skip it altogether. But they need a lot of support and a lot of help. One litter will tie somebody up anywhere from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. It depends on if they usually hit 2 pounds around 8 weeks old, and that's when they can be spayed and neutered. So if you get them at 2 weeks old, you're looking at a 6-week commitment, and so on. but it ties up a family for a long time. One set of bottle babies does. Even a single bottle baby does.
I know it can be kind of scary to the average person taking care of such small babies, but our amazing foster care team provides you all the support you need, all the supplies you need, and so forth. If you do sign up, you get training.
Yes, we'll train you because every kitten is different, every litter is different. We'll train you, give you all the supplies. If at any point you're overwhelmed, you didn't realize it was going to be that much work, you can always bring them back. We can find them another foster home to go into. Myself and my co-worker, Emily, both take a lot of bottle babies home ourselves. So we will help you out. You won't be stuck.
Yeah, and speaking of supplies, we do have a wish list online. We have an Amazon wish list, Chewy wish list, and your local Pet Supplies Plus stores will have the items we need. So we are encouraging our community, if you're willing and able, like please donate off of our wish list to help kittens like these. And I did bring some of the most needed supplies with me today, so I was hoping Sue could go over what they are and what they mean. So I will start with the most important. KMR.
KMR.
What is that?
This is the kitten formula, the supplement that we give the babies. We only use the powdered, and we only use the KMR. Our vets like us to stick to one brand so that if the babies start to experience any kind of stomach issues, diarrhea, throwing up, they can pretty much rule out that it is not the formula because they're not being switched around to different brands or brands that we're not used to. So we do only do the KMR powdered. There's all different sizes. There's an 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 28 ounce. There's a 5-pound bag. And depending on how young the kittens are when you get them, we go through a lot of KMR when the bottle babies are in foster care.
And going off of that, I know to feed the kittens KMR, we have a specific brand of nipple that we are looking for.
Yes. This is the Miracle Nipple. It's the original size. The tiny, tiny ones can use this all the way up to whenever they decide they're going to wean. It's great because it already has the hole in it. If any of you have tried to put a hole in the nipples that come with the bottle and get just right the right flow, it's impossible. So these have the hole in them already. They last usually the whole time you have your litter of bottle babies. And so once they're grown and not using the nipple anymore, you throw it out and get another one for your next group. We have had people purchase what were advertised as Miracle Nipples, but it was not this brand, and looked the same. The color was a little different. The hole was there, but we found that one of our bottle babies was able to bite the end of the nipple off and swallow it. So we really like to stick to the Miracle Nipple brand because it holds up and it's just wonderful. The kittens take right to it.
And on the food topic, I heard that the kittens have a favorite brand of food once they're old enough to eat this type of food.
Yes, we put them on the Fancy Feast Kitten. We usually start out with the turkey because it seems to be the best for their stomach and the transition. We water it down a little bit at first, make like a slushie. Sometimes we'll sprinkle the KMR on it to entice them to eat. But we use the turkey, there's ocean whitefish, salmon, chicken, and there's also a variety pack that has all the flavors in it. But we stick with just the Fancy Feast so that if somebody does start to have a stomach issue, we can kind of rule out that it's not the food, and then our vets will go from there with testing for worms or any other kind of issues.
Next up, why do we need scales?
They need a scale because usually the first indication that a bottle baby is not doing well is they either stop gaining or they start losing. It happens very quickly. They go downhill. So we usually have people weigh them once in the morning and once at night just to make sure they're stabilized in their weight or they're gaining. It can happen very quickly within a 24, 48-hour span of time that they can go from being perfectly healthy and fine to not doing well at all. So in the first couple of weeks when they're really little, we just like to see that they're maintaining their weight. Obviously gaining is the best way to go, but we don't want them losing, and the only way to monitor that is with a nice teeny tiny little scale.
It's so cute, it's so little.
I know.
Let's talk about these next, because this might also be an item that people are like, why would baby wipes be a high priority for you?
Baby wipes are important because the moms usually clean them. Kittens don't know how to go to the bathroom on their own for the first few weeks. So mom usually stimulates them to go to the bathroom, but because there's no mom, it's left up to us. So we usually use the baby wipes to stimulate them, to make them pee, make them poop. And when they are peeing and pooping, it also helps clean them and keep everything nice and clean.
Yeah, so they are very important.
Yes.
It seems a little silly, but we really do need baby wipes.
Yes, for them and for you.
And let's move on to comfort. I know that this is another item that it's really important. We're asking our community, if you are going to donate, that you donate this specific brand.
Yes. The Snuggle Safe, it's a heating disc. Usually it stays hot for 8 to 10 hours, so it's nice for overnight. The Snuggle Safe works the best. It heats up well in the microwave, it keeps its shape, and it stays hot for a long time. I've had people donate other brands, which are wonderful. Everything people donate, they're trying to help us out, but I don't want to see anybody waste their money on something that just isn't going to work for us. I've had people donate a couple of other brands that look wonderful, but when we heated them up in the microwave, they blew up like a basketball. And once it's a big round circle, we can't use it for the kittens. So the Snuggle Safe keeps its shape, keeps its heat, and it lasts for a long time.
So would this go like into a blanket, I'm assuming?
Yeah, usually like a pillowcase, one layer of cloth over it is usually enough. If you bury it too much, the heat doesn't tend to come up to the surface for the babies. So usually just one piece of blanket. They do come with a wrap on them. You can always use that. It's just going to get dirty and you're probably not going to stay on top of washing it. So one blanket, a pillowcase is perfect to put one of these in and it stays nice and warm.
Awesome. And then
And they need this because they can't maintain their temperature
Yeah.
until they're around 3 weeks old. So they need the heating source to maintain a temperature. And if their temperature is too low, when they're a week old or so, you're not able to feed them either until their temperature is 99 degrees.
Wow. So yes,
So it's
heating
really
pad is very important. Something that is really cute but very important is, have you noticed this little guy sleeping in here? What is this little stuffed animal?
It's just a snuggle, safe thing for them. We have some that purr, some that purr and have heat in them, some that have a heartbeat. It just gets them the feeling of being with a mom or being with a sibling, especially if it's a single baby. But we still use them for multiple litters. They just love the comfort of the noise that they give off.
Yeah, I will show you what it sounds like. It's adorable. This little friend has been sleeping the whole time. So relaxing.
Yep.
So comforting.
Just soothe them.
We have many items on our wish list, but I just brought the most needed today. So we would love if you could take a moment to go on our website, and the links will also be in this video. And we would be so thankful if you would take a moment to consider donating anything off of our wish list. Like I mentioned, it's Amazon, Chewy, or you can find most items in your local Pet Supplies Plus stores. Another thing I wanted to maybe end on is how much we need new foster care volunteers.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have a lot of people that do bottle babies. We would show you everything you need to do. Every litter, every kitten's different, but we would show you how to do it, what to watch for. We have things written up that you take home, kind of as a guideline, but we need bottle baby fosters because if they come in at 2 days old, 3 days old, that ties up one foster home for 8 weeks. So it's really important. We only have a handful of people that do it right now. And you would never be stuck. We would help you out. We would take them back if it became too overwhelming. But I have found that a lot of people that don't know what they're doing or don't think they know what they're doing tend to do the best.
Wow.
So
Yeah, give it a try. There's no harm in reaching out
Yep.
and talking with our foster care team. And if you have any questions about our wish list or anything we talked about in this video, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And also, these two little guys don't have names yet, so leave your name suggestions in the comments, and we'll let you know if it gets picked. Thank you.